Hey, everybody, this is Rory McDonald from MacDon and Associates coming to you with the next episode of Tuesdays with Rory. I have in the studio some friends, feels like family almost in a lot of ways. I'm very excited to have them in. This is Catair and Catherine. They are a mom and daughter business that operates here in Metro Detroit, really with the heart behind taking care of women specifically. Mm-hmm. And so without further ado, I want you guys to kind of take it away and share a little bit about you, your business, your heart for it, your heart for women here in Metro Detroit and what you guys are doing, because it's awesome. So take it away, Catair and Catherine.
Hi, guys. I'm Catherine Drohan. I am a mom to Lucas, who's almost 2. And with that being said, that's kind of my whole reason of why starting this business was my mom. So currently I am in retail, which is super fun, but not conducive to family life whatsoever. So going through my postpartum journey, even with such a great support system, still felt very alone, very isolating, and just overall not at all what I had anticipated going through. I had read a little bit about it, but going through it is way different than I had anticipated. And that's where my passion came in. I did a bit of a cold survey with friends, and I realized that I wasn't the only one who felt this way going through these things. And that's kind of where this business idea spurred on. If I'm not the only one feeling like this, then why is there no resources for this? So postpartum coaching is what I'm here for now, and offering support system, community, online classes to really be there for women in probably one of the most difficult times of their life that is so joyful, but also so isolating. So that's what I'm here for, to just be their little support system with our group of women who are also going through the same thing.
Right on.
Yeah, now I'm on the exact opposite side of that spectrum. I'm Catair Gordon, and I'm the menopause coach. I can do perimenopause and whatnot, but like I said, we span everything from postpartum to menopause. So the reason we decided to do online coaching was because we could serve more women, and we could reach a broader audience. Because when I went through all of the hormonal imbalances, it can be overwhelming, especially going into menopause and all the changes and trying to work and trying to balance home and family and everything. And I was like, that's it. We've got to get out there and serve more women and try to lighten up a bit of a heavy season of life. And it can be, I know it sounds strange, but menopause can be a great time. Because I've raised you guys already. So
you're empty nester now.
Yes, and I love it. Love you guys, but I love it. But yeah, so it was a way to bring creativity back and be able to do what I wasn't able to do. And I don't ever regret a minute being home with you guys. In fact, I love it, every single minute of it. But now I can actually do things that I've always wanted to do. And that was to always run a business and serve people. And we just happen to be able to get to do it together.
Yeah. That is a huge positive. It's so cool being able to sit down. I've sat down with people who start businesses and it's like, hey, we're 2 buddies, or we're 2 brothers, or we're, the cousins, or things like that. I think this is the first time that I've had the opportunity to bring in a business that's operating here in Metro Detroit specifically, that is not just 2 friends or whatever. This is a mom and a daughter that are really doing their best to put their hearts together and take care of women here in Metro Detroit, which is super, super cool that this is what you guys are doing. So you got into this a little bit when you were talking there, Catherine, but the really the reason why you guys exist is the coaching aspect for women. And y'all might be listening to this and going like, oh my gosh, coaching. It seems like coaching is everywhere. Everybody has a coach. Everybody wants to be a coach, all these different things. But the specifics of what it is that you guys are doing, like, this is not just like, hey, I want to be your life coach, or I'm a job coach, or I'm a business coach, or anything like that. No. Here's our heart. We want to focus on 2 things. Right now, it's women who have just had a baby, women who are entering and in the midst of menopause. These are the 2 people that we are here to serve and take care of. You shared a little bit the reason why that is. If you can go just a little bit more in depth with that, like, I know you mentioned, hey, I was looking for resources, and it really seemed like outside of sitting down on the couch at my mom's house and having a cup of tea or whatever it is, like, I didn't know what else there was.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I mean, I'm sure there are resources out there, and I did join multiple Facebook groups. But at the end of the day, it was unfortunately women just kind of complaining, and I know it's hard, but that at the moment wasn't what I needed. I very vividly remember Lucas finally falling asleep on my chest, and I was at my house, mom was doing something, and I was just by myself. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, why do I feel this way? Like, this isn't, I just had a baby, I should be so happy. Tried to find, articles and resources and groups, and I couldn't. It was all like cute little self-care tips or, like funny Instagram reels. And I'm like, that's great, but like, I need something meatier than that. And I couldn't find it. Like I said, there may be something out there that I missed. But after talking to multiple friends who experienced very similar things that I went through, and they also couldn't find anything, that's where I realized that was where I needed to be.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone else to feel like that as a new mom, because you literally just brought life into this world, and you should not ever have to go through that alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can understand. And then also from your point of view too, like you've seen this world, and then you're entering a new one. And
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, with the postpartum, it's horrible not to be able to help your child out.
Mm.
So yeah, her and I were scrambling, but again, the new moms, there's a gap in the industry. We need to start taking care of you guys a bit better. Mine comes from the fact that I had years of severe hormonal imbalances, to the point where I couldn't function. I mean, literally, I couldn't function. I would sit down to try to do something, and the brain fog was so bad, I wouldn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And it starts affecting all sorts of things, your joints, your immune, everything. And I was like, this cannot be happening. And then again, I'm one of those ones that wants to find the research. And I'm like, why do we not have better resources for women going through menopause?
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, we need to create something here to bring in education, to help equip, to help empower women, to help them go to their doctors with some information and say, hey, can we come up with a plan for this?
Yeah.
So, I bring in guest speakers who are in the field, who are, in the medical field, who are in the holistic field, and we have fun. I mean, it's a pretty heavy subject, and these women aren't feeling good at all. So we need to lighten it up and have some fun while providing a safe, supportive environment and giving them education.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of you are probably wondering, like, Rory, why the heck do you have these people on there?
Yeah.
Like
a
lot of this revolves around, this podcast revolves around real estate and local businesses, which y'all are one of them. But here in really my heart is not just to sell houses. Like I say this all the time. You guys already know this. Like, I follow Jesus. This is who I know. This is who I love. This is what I run after. And part of following Jesus is being able to look somebody else in the eye and go, hey, I might not have the answer for you, but I know somebody who does. And so being able to take care of people's needs, their actual real needs in that way too, is an absolute blessing. So I wanted to ask you guys, what does it look like? So, let's say there's somebody out there who's watching this right now and they're like, hey, I just had a baby, or I'm entering menopause, or, hey, I know exactly what you're talking about. Now I'm having my second kid. And I know what this is like to go through, and I don't want to experience that again, or whatever it might be. Right. What does it look like outside of just watching a podcast? What do I do now?
Yeah. So next steps. Yeah, definitely. So next steps, I would say looks like, going to the website, figuring out a little bit more about us. And then that's kind of where we would really connect with you on a one-to-one basis, have an individual call, see if this is something I'd be interested in. Would you, want to be a part of the online course that we're offering at the end of October, or are you looking for something maybe more individualized? And then kind of figuring it out from there. Because we want to be there for you in the best, capacity. But maybe we might not be the right fit, but we know other people who might be as well. So that's kind of what those next steps would look like.
Okay.
We want to connect with you.
Yeah.
We want to know you.
Yeah.
So our next online set of courses are starting October 30th.
Okay.
So just so people have some idea, October 30th and 31st, your 30th. I'm either the 31st or the 1st, depending, because it is Halloween on that night. So
we will be trick-or-treating.
Exactly. So probably not the best time to start a welcome call on that day. But yeah, we just want to help people. And if we aren't the right fit for you, we'll be honest and we'll try finding the right fit for you.
Yeah.
So that's our heart, is to serve women and to make sure they get exactly what they need.
And to give everybody a quick, like, hey, I don't even know if this is me. If they're out there, I'm like, hey, I don't want to waste your time. I don't know what the women that are out there who are thinking about this, what are some things that were going through your mind, just so that I can help them understand it? What were some of the things that were going through your mind when you went, hey, this needs to exist? Because there's probably people out there who are listening to this and going, yeah, it does. And I'm not going to be the one to create it. You already have, hey, let's now book a call. Let's have a conversation. I'm going to go visit the website. I'm going to look at the phone number. I'm going to look at the Instagram. I'm going to look at the Facebook and all the other stuff, right? I'm going to see what it is that you guys have out there. But how do I now what do I do now? How do I talk to you? So like I said, I'm kind of rambling here for a second, but obviously there's the website. You guys can go to that. You can check it out. But for somebody out there who's listening right now, what are some of the things that were going through your mind when you said, all right, I need something?
I don't know about you, but for me, there was a point where I was like, look, I did not want to go talk to a doctor because that was just super intimidating, but I probably needed to. I immediately went to my husband, my friends, and my mom, because those were like my safe spots. What was going through my head is, why am I doing this? I'm a horrible mom. Why did God bless me with this child? I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. Why do I feel this way? I definitely should be much happier than this. And just like overall, like numbness. Like I didn't want to hold Lucas, but I did want to hold like Lucas. I wanted to be by him, but then I want to be by myself. But then I hated being by myself. I wanted to go back to work to see my friends, but when I went back to work, it was like I sobbed on my way to my first day back.
Yeah.
And that was when I was like, look, like I can't go through this alone. This is not okay. Like I love my mom and my husband and my dad and like the support system I had around me, but I wanted an outside source to kind of get me through this, but not a professional therapist.
Yeah.
That for me was not, like, they're amazing and yes, totally support them. But in my state at that point, I just couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
I needed more of a friend and a supportive community.
It sounds, and I'm going to let you talk to this too, Catair, but it sounds like what it is that I'm hearing you say, and I could be off on this. Yeah. I'm not a woman.
Right.
But what I'm hearing you say is there were people there to hold your hand, but no one there to go, hey, here's what's going on.
Yes.
Here's what's actually happening.
Exactly
so you can understand what's going on. And now the next step you take is an intentional one.
Right.
Because you know what you're solving.
Yes. I needed like an action plan.
Yeah.
Of some sort from a supportive person. And to your point, I had my support system in place, just not those action steps to take.
Yeah. Yeah. Has that been the same experience kind of for you too?
Yeah, I ran into a little bit different because I was going to the medical community and I couldn't find the answers. And I was stumped that even the medical community couldn't give me the answers I needed. And I was like, what is going on here? So I spent years and years and years and looking at resources and feeling overwhelmed and feeling confused and feeling horrible. And then you hit menopause and bodies are shifting and hormones are all over the place and relationships change. And you end up numbing out to try to cope with it, which is not a healthy mechanism, but your hormones also help suppress those feelings.
Yeah.
So it was just I'm like, wait a minute, if I'm going through this, there's got to be a better way for women to get through this. And especially in menopause, you're still running families and you're still going to work and you're still overwhelmed and you're still confused of how do I manage this? And you're trying to go to the doctors and the doctors don't have a whole lot of, they do the best they can. But it is one of those things that God created our bodies so uniquely individual that there cannot be a one answer fits it all. It's not a one size fits all, which is where I come in. Because that's where the group coaching comes in, because you can start looking at everybody's stuff. And then with the pool of resources that I have around me, then I can give them the information they need to make a better informed decision for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotcha. So, hey, yes, it actually makes sense for you to go see a doctor.
Yes.
Or, hey, let's focus on
Absolutely.
changing your diet,
Yeah.
or hey, you know what I mean? Whatever it might be. I don't know the details of it. I'm not the coach, but you get the idea of
Yes.
just like, hey, here's some potential next steps for you.
Right.
Let's see what works. Let's try and make this happen.
And for the most part, women know.
Mhm.
They just need to hear that,
Mhm.
yes, I was on the right track.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
That's what a coach does. I'm not necessarily going to come out and flat out tell you, you need to do this, 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 and this. I'm going to listen and usually guide you to the answer that you already know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So for anybody out there, I know we said this a couple different times, but just to reiterate, if you are listening today and there's any interest in a coaching session, what is going on with these two on a regular basis by going over and seeing their social media handles, go and check out their website, Catair.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah.
CatairLLC.com. Go check it out. See the website, read a little bit about it, give them a call, have a conversation with them about coaching. And like I said, follow them on
And don't be afraid to contact us. There is no dumb question.
No.
It is not a waste of time. So please do not think that, oh, well, no, they're call us.
You're not wasting our
Contact
time, I
us.
promise.
It will never be an imposition for us. Reach out.
Mhm.
I love it.
That's
I
what we're here
love
for.
I love it. No, super thankful for you guys being able to make it into the studio today and
Thank you.
be a
Thank
part of the
you.
podcast. I'm excited to
Yeah.
have you on in the future and hear what it is
Yeah.
that you guys are doing, what God's doing within your business and helping the community here in Metro Detroit.
Thank you
Absolutely.
so much,
So-
Rory.
Thank you.
Absolutely thankful for you guys. Also thankful for you guys out there. Thank you for tuning in today's episode of Tuesdays with Rory. Very thankful for you guys. Besides that, you guys have a